At the family reunion, who we introducing? Thank you, Instagram, for telling people to go live with me. I'm just waiting for Instagram to tell people. Oh, hello. Hi, Rach Mendoza. Thank you for coming on. One of the very first. Nikolai, Ariana, thank you for joining us. 5 minutes pa hanggang papasok dito si Bibo Reyes. So, onti-onting intay lang po. Initay ko din yung tag team partner ko si Ken Warren na sumali sa IG Live natin ngayon. Hello, Real Shanky. What's up? What's up? Ken, thank you very much for that link. I shall pin that comment and invite you in. Exciting. I'm excited. I'm very excited to have Bibo Reyes on. Ken, nice
Hello,
hat.
bro.
You changed.
Nah, just freaking hair, dude. Same shirt. PWR,
Yeah,
man.
same shirt, but like you changed the hat. You had the headband on earlier.
Yeah, dude. You already have the headband. Day off, man. Moderator time.
All right, thank you. And we just again let us start this out right. So everyone na nanood ngayon, thank you for tuning into hashtag PWG Live. It is an IG live show where two wrestlers, Filipino wrestlers, who are stuck at home because of coronavirus quarantine, are just inviting random people on and then talking about different shit with different personalities and just want everyone who is watching right now to enjoy. Thank you everyone who is joining us. Maraming salamat. Ken, you had a very interesting talk with Casey Montero like an hour ago. How are you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm good. That introduction, bro, you won't let it die, huh? You won't let-
I will
We're
not let you.
representative of a lot of things.
Actually,
What's
it's
funny, I
not
was
me.
thinking about it. Like, shit, I was about to introduce him, like, oh, in like a few more seconds. And I'm saying that shit.
It's not actually me that wants to keep like. No, actually, yes, it is me that I want to like keep throwing it in your face. But like, Jula, my girlfriend, was actually the one who pointed it out very, very often, and I am gonna keep doing that as long as I can.
Hey, man, whatever helps me make my mark, bro. You remember me even
whatever,
more.
whatever, whatever pops the people. That is the point of hashtag PWG Live. Whatever pops the people, whatever makes us have fun, entertains us, and magandang gabi to everyone. Thank you again for joining us. We have 3 minutes until Bibo Reyes at Bibo Las Vegas, last seen as Hector from Huling El Bimbo, produced by Resorts World Manila, and Dr. Pomander on Waitress the musical. I am so excited. I am just yeah, Ken, do you know anything about Bibo? Are you expecting anything to happen?
Yeah, man. Actually, can you please, a huge favor? Can you let him know if he remembers the time? He probably doesn't remember. But when I saw him
Mm.
at one of his gigs, one of his shows at Soler for Saturday Night Fever, and actually watched it as a
Yeah.
requirement. And I don't know if he remembers me seeing me there. So there you go.
Did you
Just
go
that
up to him?
random
Did you say
moment.
hi? Did you say hi to him like when you were
Oh,
there?
no, he was like I think a week before or a month before we had Revolution X, and he actually
Yeah.
recognized me. And I'm like, I'm not doing this to pat myself on the
Oh,
back,
okay, okay.
but it's just to, I appreciate that because he checked out a show, a humble show. It was like 2000 and around 2015, I think,
Yeah,
if I
yeah.
remember
All
correctly.
right, yeah. I'll
2015.
I'll ask him. I'm not sure
If
if
he
he's in right now,
remembers,
but
not really sure.
yeah, man, I'm pretty sure he'll remember. He's watched since the Makati Cinema Square days of PBR, so
Yeah.
he's been following us for a while. I will ask him about that later on. But right now, man, he's after Ang Huling El Bimbo being released for a weekend for free by ABS-CBN and Resorts World Manila, like shooting to the moon. Like he's technically in the John Cena mode because like his character is pretty it's pretty there. But I'll talk to him about that. I'll see what he has to think. Nothing too controversial, but it's nice to touch on how the reception has been.
Absolutely. Looking forward to that, brother, as I moderate. But actually, if I may say, can we just mention if everyone who's wondering what's that pinned comment right over there below my mouth, right over there? This is for the sake of the ones that are in the hashtag PWOG Live right now, not the one on the replay on Instagram on IGTV. But here you go. It's right over there. Circle right over there. It's the latest partnership between Ticket to Me and PWR. It's when you buy a T-shirt from made by the one and only Rob Sham and Math MAFK. I remember the
MAFK.
name.
MAFK.
Uh, for a very reasonable price, you get to help out our frontliners fighting COVID-19 here in the Philippines. So if you buy hashtag PWR Mabuhay ang Wrestling, Mabuhay ang Pilipino shirt, you'll be able to provide personal protective equipment or PPE to our frontliners. What you need to do is buy that shirt on that link, take a screenshot of it, whatever you need to do to remember the link. Check it out later and save a virtual receipt. Send it to the page of Philippine Wrestling Revolution PWR, and in the nearest PWR event, you can claim your one-of-a-kind hashtag PWR Mabuhay ang Wrestling t-shirt. There you go.
That was a mouthful. Tag amigo, thank you. Thank you so
As
much.
always.
It's 9 o'clock. Please, can you help me get Bibo Reyes onto the show so that we can start talking about stuff? His Bibonatics? Is it Bibonatics or Biboritos? I'm not sure, but like I forgot. I'll just check the
Bibonatics, I
comments
think.
right here. But
But I got you,
they're
brother.
waiting.
I
They're
will
waiting
go
for
out
him.
now, and I will let him know. See you on the other
Yes, sir.
side,
Thank
brother,
you.
in a few more minutes.
See ya, brother.
An hour.
Oh, he's already here. So
Oh,
Ken,
there you go.
get out.
Fine, all right. Enjoy the
Get out.
guesting.
It's my turn. All right, see you, brother. All right, I will just send the request to Bibo Reyes to join us right now. I'm very excited. Sa mga Biboritos, thank you for tuning in. I'm sure that Bibo Reyes is very happy for you guys. And hello! Welcome to Hashtag
What
PBG
is
Live.
up?
Let me just introduce you, just to make things formal. So everyone, I will introduce you now. Join us on Hashtag PWG Live. Last seen as Hector in Huling El Bimbo, produced by Resorts World Manila, and Dr. Pomander in Waitress, among many other productions. He's also a pro wrestling and MMA fan. Welcome, Bibo Reyes to Hashtag PWG Live. How are you doing tonight?
What's up, Jake? Thank you so much for having me. I'm sorry, did I preempt your introduction? Did I jerk the curtain too early there?
No, usually IG Live has a prompt before you actually jump in, so I was expecting that, but no, it's fine. It happens. IG Live is
Okay.
very new ground for everyone. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you
well, to
for
start
having me,
off,
man.
Of course, it's our honor, really. I just really want to ask right now. So, how have you been doing with the whole coronavirus situation? What have you been?
Oh
up
my
to?
God, it's so weird. I mean, I figured you'd ask that, and it's honestly the same issue or like hurdle that I'm sure you guys have encountered being part of a live, an industry that involves live audiences and live production. It's just that, and nothing's there. Like everything's stopped
Oh.
essentially. I mean, the world has stopped, but more so have like live events and stuff. We just have no chance of getting off the ground right now, except for platforms like this, like online and stuff. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's how it's been.
it's true. Uh, Actually, you were supposed to be a part of the production for the band's visit. Did that ever hit the ground, or did
Yeah,
it, like,
we
have
were
people?
in around mid. Was it March? Yeah, mid March. We were in
Yeah.
our tech rehearsals, and we were getting ready to open. And sakto ECQ started on our opening weekend, so we didn't even get to open the show. We only got to like do a couple of performances for friends and for not friends, like a very very small like press audience. That was all. That was all you got to do. We never got to open the show.
Man, all right. I hope you guys are able to like pick it up after the whole coronavirus thing too. And the band's visit, I haven't really seen a lot of it, but I've heard a lot of reviews, like Tony Awards and everything. But yeah, I hope you guys can like pick it up. Again,
Thanks,
guys,
man.
everyone joining us, like you can, if you have any questions for Bibo Reyes, just go ahead. There was actually one that actually asked you to sing "It Only Takes Place" already, but like we'll see how he feels.
Wow.
So I'll just get into some other questions. So obviously, we got to start off talking about Ang Huling El Bimbo, which was produced by Resorts World Manila. And congratulations again to you guys for raising 12 million pesos for the Pantawid ng Pag-ibig program for ABS-CBN. So that is an amazing
Thank
feat.
you.
So just wanted to ask, like, what was the experience of like playing young Hector on the stage?
Young Hector is one of those things that I'll never forget. One of those roles, just one of those experiences, period, that are gonna stick with me forever. Because first of all, it was actually my first Tagalog show. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like professional theater production. It was my first Tagalog role, and then Iheads pa. So, like just that experience alone was honestly life changing, because I first did it in the original run. I was part of the original cast. A lot of people don't know that. They think I know I was part of the second batch of actors to come in, but I was already in the first run since 2018. So this has been a part of my life for 2 years now, even though I thought I had moved on from it last year when we closed in August. Sabay nagkaganito. So we're in May now, and it's still a part of my life. So 2 years running, El Bimbo's been there.
It's well. I hope it's a good. It's a good experience. Well, it's a good experience, obviously. But now that the stage production was up on YouTube for like a weekend and it got a lot of buzz, how has your life been after that? Technically, like, because
dude. I mean,
go ahead.
sorry, you were. Yeah. Well, actually, it was a lot of people don't realize it was only up for 2 days. Sorry, let me turn off my here, but we don't get. Yeah, there we go. Where we don't get those alerts. It was only up for 2 days actually. So, but of course, like with piracy and screen grab and all that shit, people still kept uploading like illegal copies of the show. But besides that, grabe. I mean, what can you say? We got over 7 million views across YouTube and Facebook, and it's just been a phenomenon, really. Like, if you look at Twitter, it's full of memes. Instagram is full of fan art. Like, your chosen platform will have its like expression of love for the show. We couldn't be more just astounded by the reception, and also just the appreciation for live performing. I think not just theater, because given theater, like, people are more interested in theater now than they've been probably in the last 5 years because of the stream. But also I can feel this interest in live performance. Like, people are so used, like, to like Netflix or like just watching series and on TV and going to the movies, but not just theater, but like live performance. I think people are getting an appreciation for that. Also because we're so deprived of it during these days, right?
Much, yeah.
And in case people don't understand, like, pro wrestling is also another form of live, action-packed, organic entertainment that they can consume once all of this is done. So I hope people are excited for that too. I'm sure you guys have all sorts of things in the works for after.
Yeah, definitely. Well, right now we're gonna follow suit with what Ang Huling El Bimbo did. It's gonna be on pay-per-view. Our biggest show, up to date, PWR Special Homecoming is gonna be up on May 31, and people can catch that.
Nice.
So soon.
This is a show that was done already, or are you gonna do the empty?
No,
empty arena
it's
thing?
a show that was done already last year in 2019. We had guys like TJP, Jeff Cobb. So it's like our biggest show to date, and we had like around 1,000 people like watch us. So that was definitely like the biggest. So hopefully everyone who watches now and then will be able to catch that later on May 31. But we have to get back to you. This isn't about me or about Peter right now. This is going back to you. Actually, there was a question I saw from Triple F, one of the PBUG Live faithful. Good evening. A question for both of you guys. What do you think are the similarities between pro wrestling and musicals?
Should I take this, because I have a lot to say about this, being, you know, obviously just the entertainment factor on its own. Just being able to sit there and watch something unfold in front of your eyes is an organic, I already said it, but it's an organic feeling that you will not get in any other form of entertainment, especially with something like pro wrestling it's just so alive in front of you. And, you know, and it's also like,
can you?
Oh, you did? Okay. Sorry. Especially with something like pro wrestling that's so alive in front of you. I want to speak to this. Really quick story, because I've shared it a lot on social media. I'll show this now. This was my chair when I watched Mania 6 years ago. And then I also watched before WWE actually banned it. They used to have a lot of indie events in the area ng Mania before, diba? And I watched the WrestleCon Super Show. They do. Yeah. So they're just further away now. Because I remember I read an article before that they were like, you can't be close to the venue or whatever.
Yeah, they just like
anyway.
They're still in the city, but like in different, like a little bit farther away.
Oh, I see, I see. Okay. Well, yeah, I went to the WrestleCon Super Show in New Orleans, and like, I remember Tommy Dreamer got my beer can and smashed it into someone's face. There was an ultra violent main event that that kind of wrestling. The I don't know if CZW is that kind of genre, but it was like really bloody and really violent. I was genuinely afraid of getting blood on my body because I was like, I don't know where these guys, I don't know if these guys have been tested or anything. So things like that you won't get. Obviously, it's not that up close in theater, but I think people get a sort of like visceral, real reaction whenever they see just a live human body doing something on stage. So yeah, and you know what? Something my director, one of my mentors, Bobby Garcia, says is when you're acting, when you're performing, your mind knows that what you're going through isn't real, that it's a show, but your body doesn't, because of how much you put it through, diba? Like your body doesn't know, so the things you go through are real, and people relate to that.
Yeah. So I agree on that sense that both art forms are very visceral. When you watch musicals, it's just like, it's amazing how these actors, these triple threats, singing, dancing, acting, can like bring these emotions out of you when you're watching. And me I'm a bit of a musical theater geek also, so like I
can tell, man. I can tell by the way you talk about it.
Yeah, man. I'm like,
what are some of your favorites?
My all-time favorite is Legally Blonde, the musical. Like, no doubt.
Nice. Do you know the composer's name? He's one of my favorites talaga. Like his other work is also great, but I love Legally Blonde.
I don't remember the name of the composer. I just really am in love with Laura Bell Bundy.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, okay.
But yeah. Well, I'll get back to some questions also, if that's okay.
Yes, please.
All right. So you've been involved in theater for a long while now. According to some articles, it's been ever since high school. Some articles online, and then how you saw the musical Rent, and it mixed your love for rock music and theater. Did you always know back in high school, that you were going to always be doing something in musical theater?
Oh my God! Where did you even find that? Like I definitely remember saying that. But damn, man, you guys, you don't know how good you have it. You don't know how good you have it with your host right now. Yes, so Rent was one of the first musicals that I saw, and in high school, and it made me, because I've always been into rock music, and that's probably why I got attached to it so much, because I realized, oh, these two worlds can come together pala. And then I didn't really consider even doing theater like full on, even for fun, until I got to college. When I started college, because I was in bands in high school, like, you know how everyone's in a band in high school because it's cool.
I wasn't. It's okay.
I was a nerd in high school. I thought. I'm sorry.
I was a nerd in high school, so I wasn't in a
band.
Oh,
okay. Well, anyway, there. So, in college, I figured I just wanted to perform.
Yeah.
And I thought that would take the form of being in AMP, which was the Ateneo like band org in college. So I applied for AMP, but I knew I wanted to perform too, and I knew I could act a bit. I did a bit of acting in high school, so I tried out for Blue Rep, and then got accepted, and it's just been tuloy-tuloy since then. Blue Rep is the music, like the sort of the English musical theater org in Ateneo, but they also do Tagalog musicals. They did a Tagalog musical recently. So
yeah, actually, I was going to ask a question. You're also batch 2013, right?
2012.
2012. Okay, so you're a year above me.
Yes.
So I was.
Oh, okay, yes, okay, I see.
Yeah. All right. So we were also went to Ateneo, and actually, I have a question about Ateneo. So you actually played back in 2012. You played Sunny from In the Heights while you were going to college. So what was it like balancing musical theater with your college studies?
Oh my God! Well, that's the best example, dude. You got the questions are just on point.
Yeah, man. Like
You guys don't know how good you have it. Okay, so in the Heights, I was in my senior year of college, and I went to audition. They contacted me, and I was lucky. Honestly, I was just lucky because my
Yeah.
friend actually was already. His name was Marcos Acosta. He's based in New York, and you know, like in the Heights is set in New York. So they
Yeah.
had an authentic New York performer just happened to have roots in the Philippines, just happened to be here. He auditioned, they got him for In the Heights to play
Yeah.
Sonny. And he happened to be my friend, but he had to go back to New York. He couldn't commit to the show anymore. So they needed someone else. I'm a constant replacement in my career, honestly. That's kind of the story of my
Right place, right time. Right
ascent.
place, right time. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm like Edge, man. I'm the ultimate opportunist. Um,
Yeah.
so yun, and then I auditioned, and then so done my audition, everything like that. And the assistant director, her name is Shari Arispaco. She was like, okay, so this is our schedule. She gave me the schedule. It's like 11 to 5, 6 days a week, ganyan, ganyan. And I was like, oh, okay, I just have one class that's a conflict, blah, blah, blah. She goes, we don't do conflicts. I was like, okay, I guess I'll drop the class then.
Yeah.
So I dropped the class, which I hated anyway. It was one of those
Yeah.
like once a week, 3 hour classes
Oh,
that I
yeah, hate
absolutely hated. So I just dropped it, and yeah. And then I actually also missed my graduation for In the Heights.
wow.
Oh no, another show. The show after In the Heights. I didn't get to March because I had a show, and then in Ateneo they have these for the arts, they have these art awards that you apply for. It's this whole process. You have to submit a portfolio, copies of portfolio. You have to make it through a whole screening process to be considered for the award. I got the award, and I couldn't make it to the awards night because I had a show of In the Heights. So that tells you how much like
Yeah.
the theater will just. It's honestly like such a jealous mistress, because even things related to theater you won't be able to do because you're in theater. Alam mo yun?
Yeah, no, exactly, and but it also shows that how much you were in love with theater, and this is like that. That is a story that I would tell, like, be proud of telling, because oh yeah, I missed my graduation because I had to wrestle at WrestleMania or something like that. You imagine?
Yeah, dude.
So yeah, thank you for sharing that story, and actually, you actually met Lin-Manuel Miranda because you were Sunny in the Heights.
Yes, I did.
Can you tell us that experience of like meeting, like, he wasn't as big as he was back then, but like right now with how big he is, like, can you tell us like what it was like meeting technically a god of musical theater?
I know, yeah, dude. I mean, it's honestly, it's weird for you to say that he wasn't even as big, because if you were an In the Heights fan, you knew who Lin-Manuel was back then,
Yeah.
diba? And then now, like, everyone knows Hamilton, so it's like, what the fuck? He's like rapping with the president and shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of people don't know that he actually has some significant roots here in Manila because of like people he worked with while he was studying in the States, studying theater and performing and everything. The original Nina, who I sorry, I forget her name. Her sister is a good friend. Is actually Filipina. So while they were like working on In the Heights, well, it was a totally different show. The original Nina was Filipina. And then, so yun, Lin was here at that time. We were doing the rerun of In the Heights. Lin was Lin was here for that girl's wedding, actually. So nagkataon,
okay.
he was flying here for that, and then nagkasabay, he could also show up for us in the show. And then but he was so gracious. It was crazy. He helped us tweak the show a little bit, some parts, like he and he went up on stage for, I don't know if it was a closing night, but it was an important show to say some words to the audience, and that alone was insane. One story is that, so I was Sunny, right, and he has that big rap solo in 96,000. You with 96,000, I finally fixed 1,000. And I got a note from Lin because I wasn't as calm or as refined a performer back then. So what would happen is when I would rap that part, I would run, meaning nauunahan ko yung music.
Yeah.
And I know it would get messy sometimes. So he was like, you try not to go supersonic in that part, man. Let's just, just like stay on the beat. And I was like, yes, sir. So then
Well,
That was great.
getting a tip from one of the greats, it's something that you take home. And
I
obviously,
know.
shout out to Stan C for getting me
Yes.
this playbill of
Oh
Hamilton
my
when he was in
God.
New York. Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Which leads me to my next question. If you were to play a role in Hamilton, who would you want to be?
Okay, I have to sidestep this question just a little bit because this
Mm,
is a cardinal sin in terms of being like someone who actually
okay.
got to meet Lynn and got to hang out with him because
Okay.
I haven't actually fully checked out Hamilton yet. I've listened to and
Oh,
studied a
okay.
couple songs, but the reason
Yeah.
being, remember like the pro shot of Hamilton is coming up on Disney Plus, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
They announced that like 5 years ago. So
You've been
so
waiting for
ever
five
since they
years.
announced that, I was like, okay, I won't check out the soundtrack yet. I won't look at other sources online. I'll
Yeah.
wait for the professional like video of Hamilton so I can experience it full on because I mean obviously it's super difficult to be able to watch it live, diba? So I thought it would come out in a year or two. It's been 5 years and it's still not out. Like I still haven't checked out Hamilton. So
Well, I saw it like in not the best means, but like it's gonna be worth the wait. I assure you. Actually, if we can go back to when you started in musicals, because we have a fan question here from at Gan Borja. What musical would you recommend for a newbie to watch? Like a newbie for musicals.
huh. You know what? Since you referenced like Rent when the that being one of the first things I experienced, I don't have a specific answer because people are different. But my answer is because people are different. Like find a genre of music that you love, and find a musical that features that genre, and
Yeah.
you're all set. You're gonna love it no matter what. Sorry, can I just hi everyone? Thank you so much for watching. Support Philippine wrestling, support Pinoy wrestling. Thank you for being here. Love you all.
Thank you guys. Thank you sa mga biboritos natin dito. Nanonood ngayon. All right, so moving on. Musical theater has also taken you places. You've been in productions in places like Singapore and Malaysia. How does it feel to have something that you love take you places? Because like we as wrestlers, when we go overseas, like in Singapore and Malaysia, it feels really awesome. Like, but with you guys, like, how does it feel being in a production for like maybe a while? Because I know it usually runs for a while. So how does it feel like having the thing that you love take you to different places?
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, real quick before I answer that.
No worries.
One more Lynn story is we were actually able to surprise him with something in the show. Our
Mm,
director like added like this little thing involving si Abuela, her character.
mm,
Like
yeah.
after what happens to her happens. So if you know the show,
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what that means. Pero he was like, what the hell? Oh my god! So we were able to surprise him with his own show. So that was a thrill. Sorry, just I had to get that
yeah.
in there.
No worries, no
As far as
worries.
touring is just awesome because you're with people you love. You get to go see another country and then perform there. It's a little daunting in the sense of like I'm sure you guys also like you're used to performing for a Pinoy audience, diba? Kami
Yeah,
even if it's like how personally even if it's like usually Broadway material, like the reception and the even the treatment to an extent is still like a geared towards a Philippine
yeah.
perception or perspective, diba? But
Mm,
to consider that it's going to be a different vibe, a different culture really, then that broadens your horizons and it makes it a really fulfilling experience. Like I mean like for a Japanese wrestling audience, diba, I'm sure like there's a lot of style adjustment that has to go on if you're going to perform, and even like for people in Singapore or Malaysia,
mm,
it's going to be a different vibe. So in any live performing, it's always about connecting with the audience and that parang like consistent communication and bato-bato between performer and audience. So being
yeah,
in another country will alter that experience in a profound and fulfilling way.
yeah. I agree. And
Oh, and
honestly, when it
also,
comes to sorry,
the show that went to Singapore and Malaysia was Saturday Night Fever, and I
yeah,
actually met Ken Warren after a show of Saturday Night Fever in while
I
I
was
was
about to
running
ask
here in
that.
Soler. So yeah.
Yeah, like he wanted me to ask that, and thank you for for shouting out Ken Warren. I'm
I
pretty
was a
sure he
fan.
was
I was like,
moved
"Oh, dude,
by
thank you for
your
watching, man.
performance.
Hashtag that."
Well, thank you for sharing that actually. And yeah, I can attest that when you are in a different audience, you want to connect with them. But when it comes to wrestling, just to give you a little heads up, also, when it comes to wrestling,
Mm.
the way you connect is not really changing up your style, but like making sure that your style resonates with them. So that's our point.
Ah, I
So just
see.
making
I
sure that
see.
you shouldn't change your greatest hits basically for the audience. Just
Okay,
keep
okay,
doing it.
okay.
Make sure they love you. That's it. All right.
That's
Actually,
an
now
ano. That's something that I actually like have only recently sort of truly paid attention to when it comes to like watching
yeah.
wrestling and everything and that because
Oh,
I admittedly and I'm sure like you guys have your struggles with this too. I was a bit of a selfish fan in that I didn't really pay attention to the craft as much before. I was like,
yeah.
I wanna be entertained. I wanna see my guys win and all of that. But like looking at like just the performing aspect of it now, I think it's also because of the current situation. Like this
Mm.
newfound like perspective we have on performing and live events, ganyan. Whenever I watch wrestling these days, I'm like, yung pala yun. Okay, okay, okay. Because guys, I mean, kami, when we're performing, ang adlib can be disastrous in its own way, pero parang like because we do it the same thing over and over, diba? That's one
yeah.
thing na sa amin. It's rehearsed and it's choreographed and it's the same thing over and over again. Medyo safe kami kasi we're one organism and the same organism every night. You guys, nanganganak kayo every single time you go out there. You're
Yeah.
always ad-libbing, you're always like, off the cuff essentially. So it's like bawal kayo talaga madapa. And the respect that I have for that now is really like because honestly, like you guys, the wrestling fans who are watching, you take it for granted the little things these guys have to put, immense amounts of effort into being able to portray. Kasi andali madapa. And, diba? Like, just
Yeah,
to be
man.
able to
Yeah.
not do that is astounding. So mad props. I
Thank,
had to get that out
thank
there.
you. Thank you so much. But
Sorry, this interview has been like a constant struggle between me dapping you up and you trying to keep the
no, man.
questions to me. But I just wanted
No,
I
man.
just wanted to like
Don't worry.
get that
This is
in
like
there, man.
we're trying to keep this as not structured as possible. Like the
All right, all
other
right.
wrestling podcasts. But I have to say, you guys shouldn't like sell yourself short either, because like musical theater actors, I have to say, are like the hardest working people. I pretty much know, because you have to memorize your lines, like stay on
Yeah.
tune, dance, sing. So like, if you guys fuck up, like it's hard to come back from that. But if we wrestlers fuck up, we just all right. How do we hide this? We can technically like gravitate away from what we had thought and then find something else. But like in a musical theater performance, you technically can't do that unless you're like a
Yeah.
Patty LuPone level person that just tells people to shut off their phones. But yeah, man,
Yeah.
mad props to you guys as well.
I know.
We'll keep this
It's
going.
really all about that struggle for perfection, right? You always want to try to reach for it, which will never happen, obviously. That reminds me of a Paul Heyman story. Actually, he was talking about his ECW days and how he was just involved in everything. Diba? His hands were just because he's so obsessive and so in love with the craft. He was involved in everything, and he was telling a story about how they were editing an episode at one point, and then in his sleep, he asked the guy to edit out a stumble, like a wrestler stumbled, and Heyman was like, "Take that stumble out." And you're like, wow, ganun siya ka, katutok
That's how in
to
tune he
how
was
how
with his
perfect.
wrestling.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, now that we're actually talking about wrestling, let's skew away from the musical theater stuff first and get into your other fandoms, which is MMA and pro wrestling. And since I'm not really a fan of MMA, we'll stick to pro wrestling. All right.
Mhm.
So you talked about your WrestleMania 30 journey in your interview with Fight Sport Manila. Shout out to them, which ended up into you having your name in Daniel Bryan's book.
Yes.
So how does it feel having your name there in one of your top 5 wrestlers' biography?
It was crazy, man. Like, and the best part of that story, honestly, is not obviously like being there to begin with, but just like the way I discovered it was just so like I had no idea until I actually bought the book, took it all the way to my hotel room, and was just browsing it. It was like, what the fuck? So
Where did you
it
buy
doesn't
the
get
book
more
in?
organic than that.
What country did you buy
Pardon?
the book in? What
I was in
country did
Singapore.
you?
I was in Singapore, and then for a show, and I went to Kinokuniya, bought the book, and
Mm.
then just because I wanted it, and then biglang what the hell? So
Man,
it was crazy,
that
man.
must have been like a good. Yeah.
Yeah, and that I have just such an emotional connection with Daniel Bryan. Honestly, my
Mm.
WrestleMania experience, I'll probably never go to WrestleMania ever again, just because like I don't think it'll ever match up to just the
Yeah.
serendipitous nature of my original Mania trip
Yeah.
because now of the Daniel Bryan story and everything. Like I'm such a CM Punk mark, right? And all of
Yeah.
that was happening when he bounced, and all the fans were just so pissed, and I was one of those fans. And for Daniel Bryan to be the one shoved into the spotlight and have it be Yeselmania and everything, it was just a perfect experience for me. And meeting him was just a cherry on top. Honestly, I honestly like regret like not talking more and not being more of an annoying fan when I actually met him, because I was just like, hey man, you're my hero. Good luck on Sunday, yeah, or Saturday or whatever. It's like, yeah, yun lang, tapos picture.
I'm pretty sure he appreciated that because they have to go through thousands of those every day. So I'm pretty sure like
Exactly, man. Exactly.
yeah. So thank you for sharing that. And you mentioned your top five. So Daniel Bryan's in your top five. I think CM Punk would be in your top five since you just mentioned him.
Yes.
So who would be the rest in your top five wrestlers?
The rest of my top five. Okay, in or from five to one.
Wow,
Eddie
by
Guerrero.
order. Okay,
Eddie Guerrero is number five.
five.
So I've clearly thought about this. I like my lists.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
Hey Donkey. Sorry, I'll try to pay attention to these folks more because they're nice enough to
Yeah. Thank you again for
to show
everyone
up.
who's commenting.
Hello, thank you for
And
the blue hearts and
getting
the burritos. Okay. Number five is Eddie Guerrero, who
yeah.
my favorite match of all time is Eddie versus Brock, just because
Okay.
of just the booking and the finish and everything, and then just the Eddie Guerrero story, what it meant to his career. So Eddie
Yeah.
Guerrero, number five, who not so fun fact, died on my birthday. Like I
Oh
was on
man.
my way to school, just randomly checking whatever site I used to pay attention at the time. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
what
yeah.
the hell? And it was my birthday pass. So I was like, what the fuck?
Man, the bad thing is you're reminded every day, every birthday that
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry about
Like
that.
Eddie's gone, man. Come on. So yeah, no, Eddie Guerrero number five. Number four, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Just cause like he's such a, what I say is the reason Brock ignores people is not because, you know how you don't pay attention to an ant all the time? Like if there's an ant over there, you'll just not mind it.
Yeah, yeah,
To
yeah.
me, Brock is like on the cusp of that evolutionary tier where he's the next kind of human. So
Yeah.
regular
Yeah.
humans to him
Yeah.
are just like, they just phase in and out of existence for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
And
pretty sure.
I remember like I was talking to my friends a year before going to Mania. I was like,
Mm.
oh man, could you imagine just seeing the, because I wanted to go to Mania 29 but plans fell through.
Yeah.
So, and that was a time when the streak sort of was like, you know, you
Mm.
felt like maybe it could end. Maybe Punk can do it. Maybe Triple H can do it. And I
Yeah.
was telling my friends, I was like, God, dude, can you imagine if we saw that 3 count just hit the mat and everything? She's like, and to even see it live, can you imagine that? That would never
Oh, you were
happen.
there.
Sabay,
Man. Yeah,
okay,
you were
I guess
there.
Brock's
Oh
the
my
guy.
god. Yeah. It's amazing.
Okay,
It's an
sorry.
amazing
So Brock's is number four. Number three
Mhm.
is Daniel Bryan. I explained that already. CM Punk number two, and just number one all time. It's just no one comes close to Stone Cold Steve Austin. Just straight up.
Yeah. All right. Totally.
Yeah.
That's a good list. It's a good list.
Thank you, thank you.
I have killed you. Yeah. All right. So you actually mentioned to me that you actually caught a PWR show before at Makati Cinema Square.
Mhm.
Can you tell us what your experience was with that? Because like that was way long ago, and it was in a hot.
Yeah,
place.
dude. And I'm sad I haven't seen more of the recent things. It's just I just never. It's you know what it is. Because syempre the guys that I know, like especially the theater guys I know, they're always like, "Hey man, come over, you know, come see the show." Sometimes they're even like, "Hey, come announce or whatever, like just do one ring announcement." And I'm always game. It's just that same thing with everything else. with any concert, with any, because we're in the live events industry, I have a show during the
Yep.
time that my show, so I very rarely ever get to go. But the ones that I was able to go to in MCS, I loved it because, ano eh,
Thank you.
it's that parang underground vibe. You guys have watched, have been to Korakuen Hall, right?
A few of us have, like a few
Okay, okay.
your guys, but I have never been.
When I was in Japan for my birthday last year, I watched an AJPW show in Korakuen Hall, and there's this like I don't know if it's the fire escape, but so there's a staircase.
Yeah, like the
on
one you wait up.
on the yes, the one
The
where,
one
where people line up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't actually wait. Yeah, I mean we did pala. We did. We lined up there, and it's filled with like mga graffiti and everything.
Yeah.
So it's like a tapestry of like wrestling and combat sports events and stuff like from the fans. That's the vibe that I got from those early MCS shows. It's like this underground, really really fun, really really energized event where people can just come together and just enjoy and like interact and yeah. So I love that. I'll never forget you making your entrance because you like coming through the crowd if I remember correctly. And just to see mga your signs and everything, the JDL signs, I was like, yeah, this is so cool. Like, look at them. Like, they have their fan bases. This is it. It's alive. It's happening. Come on.
Thank you. Thank you so much, man. Like, it means a lot, and thank you for catching that early show. And we're still very happy that we're still doing it up until today. So,
yeah, dude, that's the best part, honestly, is that so, okay, Lantara, like, for real na, diba? Like, we had Smoky Mountain Wrestling back in the day, diba? And whenever you hear, like, a local group say, okay, let's do this, let's try wrestling, ganyan, there's always, like, you want to support, but then there's always in the back of your mind, it's like, are people gonna support this? Is it gonna last? Like that. And I'm sure that was, a factor in a source of maybe some trepidation for you guys. But to see you guys like, stick to it and like really like until now be successful, that's awesome, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for everyone who is still joining us right now. Thank you to everyone watching and commenting. So I'll look for another like fan question right here. Actually, we got one from at Andy Manay. Adi Manay. Okay, I don't know how to say that. So what is your go-to audition song and can you sing a few lines?
Hi, Addy. I don't have a go-to song, but if I were to, because like usually when they call for auditions, they're like sing something in this genre or close to this song, because you never use a song of the character that you want to get, diba? You always because it's I don't know, it's just one of those things. You always wanna just sing a song that's akin to it or like sort of tangential to what you're going for.
Yeah.
But I like to sing Totally Fucked from Spring Awakening when I audition.
Ooh.
There's a moment you're fucked, not an inch more room to self-destruct. No more moves, oh yeah, the dead end zone. Man, you just can't call your soul your own. That one, I don't know if you're a fan, but yeah. Spring Awakening.
I watched Spring Awakening. I actually watched the Blue Rep one. You probably weren't in it, but like
okay.
I watched that. Yeah. So I am familiar with that song, and thank you for singing on #PWG Live. What an exclusive that we just had right now. So everyone,
thank you for the question.
Commenting for him to sing, or everyone who's commenting for him to sing, you got it. You got to be happy now. Right. So we're jumping back again into musical theater. You've been in a lot of productions, obviously, with Huling El Bimbo, Waitress, In the Heights, and also as many others like Avenue Q, Spamalot, Saturday Night Fever, Matilda, Rock of Ages, just to name a few, if you can call that a few. Amongst all the productions you've been in and characters that you played, do you have anyone that stands out as your favorite?
Well, it's hard to not be biased to Hector and Dr. Palmater, honestly, because they those are my first two leading man roles, and they sort of like came into my life at the same time. So yeah, I won't be shy. It's those two roles.
All right, thank you. But do you have a dream role that you want to do?
Yes. My dream role is the male character in a show that was composed by the guy I was talking about, the Legally Blonde
Hmm.
composer. Sorry, let me look up his name para naman
Sure, no
we
worries.
gonna know.
We can shout him out
Ro-
and
ro-
thank him for composing the most amazing musical theater play I've ever seen in my life.
I love that. I love that. I remember Legally Blonde came out while we were in. I mean, I think around the time we were in college, diba?
It
And
came out in 2007, actually, so before
yeah,
college,
okay,
actually.
yeah. So it was like a thing around that time, and I remember everyone was just all about it in college. Like they were all about it. Lawrence O'Keefe, that's the composer.
Lawrence Olivier, yeah.
It my dream role is a role in another Lawrence O'Keefe musical, which is also based on a movie. It's called Heathers, and his name is JD.
Oh,
My dream role.
you want?
So
Oh, you want to do? Oh man, that is a dark role, I have to say, but
yeah,
I'm
dude,
sure you can pull it off.
I love it.
We
Yeah,
can
I was
we
actually
can
able to
find
watch it
like.
in New York. So I
Oh
love that
wow,
show.
man.
I love that show so much.
I love the Heathers too. It's really dark. Probably not for people
Yep,
who
yep.
like the
That's my
violence and stuff,
thing.
but
That's my
like
thing.
JD would be an amazing role for you if we can find
Thanks, man.
your other guy. I forgot. I'm blanking. I'm blacking out who the lead girl is. But yeah, singing
Veronica.
17,
Veronica.
singing Veronica, singing 17, singing Our Love Is God. Like, just, I
Yeah.
can see it. I can see it, brother. All right. Thank you for sharing that. And we're winding down a little bit now because we're around 45 minutes already.
All right. All right.
I just have one last question before we go into like a segment I have. So, what are your goals in your career right now in terms of musical theater? Do you have any goals or like branching out into other things besides theater?
In terms of musical theater, because of this recent like boom that's sort of happening, it's really just keep exploring pa rin. Like I mentioned, El Bimbo was my first Tagalog, like fully like Tagalog musical that I did. So doing more of that, honestly. A lot of people don't seem to realize this, but I know kasi a lot of my peers are just incredible singers. They're amazing, and they actually like perform outside of theater, right? Me
Yeah.
personally, I sing in musicals, right?
Mm.
That's what. Sorry, this is my boy Mikey. Mike Avi says, awesome, by the way, that JDL seems to be a Cheddar fan too. Theater plus graps. He likes to call wrestling graps, so I just had to
Yeah, yeah,
had to
man.
shout him out.
I love the chatter.
You know, JDL of the Cheddar, guys. Sorry, but I sing in theater. I mean, I enjoy singing, but it's not necessarily my passion.
Mhm.
So I'm an actor first and foremost. So I want to do more TV, more movie work also. So hopefully that materializes in the future. But because people seem to be more in love with theater now, my
Mm.
theater like drive is really like has been sparked. So yeah, doing more original stuff, more Filipino musicals would be fun.
That's cool. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And we're gonna go into our next segment. We're winding down right now. It is a segment called Whip Flash. So I have these cards right here in my hand, which has words on them. And then when I whip them in front of you, you flash a story. Like tell us a story about it, maybe 30 seconds to a minute. Just a quick
Yes.
story
Okay.
about the word that I have on my card. All right. Number one
All right.
is Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, yeah, Brian. Yes, yes, yes.
All right. That was quick. That was quick. Daniel Bryan, keep doing what you're doing. All right. Waitress.
Waitress. Oh my God. I miss everyone in Waitress. I wish we had a longer run. I wish Shara Bareilles got to watch the show. We actually sent her some clips, so she's
Oh.
seen bits of the show. I hope she was
Oh,
pleased with what we
wow.
did. And really big challenge for me. Really awesome experience, but also frightening at the same time. And I really miss it. I wish we could do it again.
All right. Sarah Bareilles, come to the Philippines. Watch PWR and watch watch Bibo in another play. All right. Next one is Scott Pilgrim Santos,
Scott
for the
Pilgrim
ones who don't know.
Santos. Oh my God. Film 2011, I believe. Mine and Gab's like first like thing like across
Yeah.
each other, which a lot of people are discovering. Really fun experience with a lot of really creative people. Scott Pilgrim is my favorite comic book of all time, also.
Mm.
So to
Okay.
be able to, when they cast me, I was over the moon, and I love. It's also like my guilty, like my. And that's really, I say The Dark Knight, but Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is my favorite movie. So
Oh,
I'm so that's one of my happiest memories.
all right. Thank you. And second to the last, funny you mentioned Gab. Gab Pangilinan,
Gab
actually.
Pangilinan, one of my closest friends. Because of El Bimbo, we just got so much tighter. A lot of people are discovering that coming apat, me, Gab, Bu and Fee, the other two like young versions of the main characters in
Yeah.
El Bimbo. So we were a team in El Bimbo, right? So we were mostly cast together. We got to perform with the other actors too, like we'd mix around. But for the most part, kaming apat yung magkakasama in the show in rehearsals and in the shows themselves.
Mm.
So because El Bimbo was it was such a such. That's what I'll say. We
Yeah.
really bonded kaming apat. We talk every day. Lalo na over the past 2 weeks after the stream, we've been talking every day and communicating and supporting each other. So yeah, I love Gab.
Shout out to Gab. Apparently, she's live on Kumu right now. So
Yes, she
thank you guys for
is.
who are watching us right now. You can watch her after. We're about to finish in a bit. And then the last one is obviously Ang Huling El Bimbo.
Aheb. Oh my God. Well, what else is there to say? Like it's as of right now, it's changed my life so drastically. I wouldn't change it for the world. Funny story is that Gab. I said this on my Kumu stream yesterday, but Gab is actually the person who recommended me for El Bimbo. Like she gave my
Oh.
name. She was like, you guys should get this guy, yada yada yada. Because
Mm.
I was a pseudo replacement for El Bimbo as well. So like I said, that's the story of my career. And then
Hey, man.
pasimple pa si Gab, kunwari pa hindi niya alam na kinukuha nila ako. And he was like, wow, really? Oh, you should go. You should do it. You should do it. I was like, okay, sige.
All right.
So
Thank
yeah, El
you. Thank
Bimbo
you.
is just my heart.
Thank you. And ultimate opportunities, not a bad place to be in, honestly. All right,
Yep.
Bibo, thank you very much for joining Whiplash for that segment. We're winding it down now. I'm losing my voice. How is this happening? Anyway, in all of your, I have one last question for you, and this is like to end us off to stop us here for the night. So, in all of your years performing in musical theater, what is the biggest lesson you've learned that you would like to pass on to others? Whether it's an
Mm.
aspiring musical theater person or just people who are out there chasing a dream, what is that one lesson that you have learned in your career right now that you would like to pass on?
Dude, thank you so much for asking that question, and because I do have a little bit to say about that. One
Yeah.
thing that us theater people will always express about what we do is that it just teaches you about life, because it's not just all fun. It's not like, it's not, we're not just playing around. It's our craft, it's our work, and because of that, there's so many challenges, so many hurdles that will pop up and that you'll have to overcome. And as a result of that, you will gain a good amount of life experience. Obviously, the real life, it's its own animal, but being in theater will teach you so many things about yourself, about others, about what it is to be yourself around others. And I'm sure that's the case in any craft, but theater does it in a way that like enriches you to the degree that you get to do it while exploring your passion, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if I were to give any message or anything, it's just, if you have the chance to pursue something you're passionate about and that will fulfill your soul. I know that's easy for someone like me to say, because I'm lucky enough to be able to do theater, right? I mean, in all seriousness, right? But for those who have even the smallest chance, just do it. Just it's kind of generic to say, it's kind of trite, pero yun talaga eh. Because look at like the stories that, like Gab, ganyan, like she was in a corporate job until she just realized she couldn't lie to herself anymore, right?
Mm.
Don't lie to
Yeah.
yourself. Just pursue what you want to pursue, because if you love something, the spark like in your heart that will keep you going even when that thing that you love gets difficult, where if it was something else that you didn't love so much, you'd probably bail. You won't bail if you love it so much. For just because of that, just because of the effect it'll have on you as a human, as someone who wants to achieve things and affect change and spark some goodness in the world, then do it, because you'll be a better person for it. If for no other reason than that, because it'll make you better, and then it'll make the world better as a result.
Thank you very much. Those are some amazing words, Bibo Reyes. Thank you very much for joining us tonight on hashtag PWG Live. To everyone who was joining, commenting, and like just watching us, thank you also for joining us, Bibo.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
We will definitely catch you down the road. Hope you
Yes, sir.
stay safe during this this coronavirus. I hope to catch one of your next musical theater plays. I hope you catch one of our PWR shows soon.
Yes, sir.
Please have a good night. Take care, and we'll see you soon, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right.
Congratulations.
All right, bye. Thank you. Bye. All right. Thank you, everyone who was joining us. I think that was my best live right now. Ang daming nag-join. Ken Warren, can you please come in? Oh, no, that's not you. Ken Warren, where are you? There you are. Pa-shoutout kami ni Jelly Marcos. Hi. What's up,
bro? What a freaking episode, man! That exploded my hair, bro.
What?
Exploded my hair.
I'm just such a huge like musical theater fan, and it was just like really refreshing to actually talk to someone who's in musical theater, and he's so passionate about it. He's also very passionate about professional wrestling. We didn't get into MMA because I'm not a fan of MMA, but yeah, man, that was fun. Like amidst all the bullshit that has been happening in the past week, that was some good, clean fun that I needed, honestly.
Let's shout out at Simply Sitif. You do your research, brother. He does, right? Look at that. That's why
I do my research.
Partner. Hashtag PWOGs, man. We do our research collectively. More of it, man. Good stuff.
Thank you. And we got to thank Bibo as well for joining us. Like, we almost went a full hour. We have 4 minutes left. I was able to keep it under an hour this time, man. Yeah. What did you think, man? What did you think of the talk?
I love his rawness, bro. He didn't act it like, because his career right now is just really ascending upwards.
Yeah.
But he wasn't afraid to show himself. He was raw. He was pure. And I like what he says, don't lie to yourself. Pursue what you want to pursue. Because the world's going to be a better place anyway. Or like, you just don't live. You just don't live by what you're currently doing right now. That's not what he said.
Yeah.
Like that's what I got out of it. And a lot of things, man.
If you love something, you're gonna do it, basically, right? So
right.
If you love something, amigos and amigas who are still watching us right now, if you have something that you love, make sure it's something that you love, and even though it gets difficult, even though it gets hard, you will not quit, because that is what we all strive to as human beings in our pursuit of happiness. That was what we all want to find. And Ken, we have like 3 minutes left. We should get into our plugs right now. So next week we have PWR Wrestling from Home again, Tuesday and Thursday. That's happening. Next week also on Wednesday with Fight Sport Manila. Shout out to Fight Sport Manila. They have been commenting also on this IG Live. They have Cuatro, Chris Panzer, and Chino Ginto on to talk about PWR Homecoming. We also have PWR Special Homecoming on May 31, 2020. Pay-per-view. Watch out for news about that. Ken, I can't believe we forgot to shout out Carl also, the MVP, the numero uno of hashtag PWG Live, who has been helping us all throughout these past weeks and is making sure that we get our videos here. And yeah, Ken, do you have anything else to add before I go into my version of hashtag John Cena Saturday?
How many minutes do we have?
We have 2 minutes.
All right, 2 minutes. So real quick, if you're wondering what's that pinned comment right below my mouth, if you're watching this not in IG Live version, not in the IGTV version, but right now. So you can just see that comment, click that more button, take a screenshot, and visit that link, because that link is the latest partnership between Philippine Wrestling Revolution, or PWR, and Ticket to Me. Wherein if you buy a PWR Mabuhay ang Wrestling Mabuhay ang Pilipino shirt, you're gonna help our frontliners fighting COVID-19. Have them provided with personal protective equipment, or PPE. So what you need to do, get that link, go to that link, buy a shirt, keep the receipt of that, or the virtual receipt of that shirt, and in the nearest PWR event.
I gotta cut you off. We have a minute left. I have to cut you off. I'm sorry. But yeah, go to the rest.
You know the rest. Go to the link, buy a shirt.
It's hashtag
out next PWR event.
Exactly. Hashtag John Cena Saturday for me, May 18, 2020. Be passionate without expecting others to care. Be invested without expecting others to approve. Be fluid in your evolution without expecting others to change. And amigos, amigas, it's great to have other people's respect, but at the end of the day, the respect that you need the most is the respect that comes from you. Love each other, love one another, and love yourself. We have 15 seconds left. This has been great, amigos and amigas. And Ken, you can.
Hashtag that. Thank you. Good
Rest in
night.
peace. Shad Gaspard, rest in peace. Hana Kimura.